Hello everyone, in this video I'll be ranking all of the WWE 2K games. So the first WWE 2K game to be released was 2K14. It was the first game to be published after Take-Two Interactive gained the license for WWE video games from THQ. 2K14 can primarily be considered as an update of WWE 13, featuring various changes to modes and mechanics, along with several new features. The main highlight of WWE 2K14 was the single-player campaign mode called 30 Years of WrestleMania, which recreated nearly 3 decades of WWE history. 30 Years of WrestleMania mode had about 45 matches centered around various characters, alternate gimmicks, and the use of classic WWE footage. This mode was my absolute favorite as it featured multiple eras such as the Hulkamania era, New Generation era, the Attitude era, and the Ruthless Aggression era. 2K14 also featured the Streak mode, where players were able to select any superstar and challenge The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and the difficulty was also higher than any other previous WWE game. The roster of this game was also amazing. It featured so many iconic superstars from each and every era of WWE. And this is also the first game to feature Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, The Shield. So I will be placing this game in the S tier, the best of the best. So the next game was 2K15. So 2K15 was the first game to be released in the 8th generation consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One. The game placed a heavy emphasis on simulation-based gameplay, unlike the arcade-like combat in the previous installments like WWE 2K14 and WWE 13. It also added several new features to complement the main theme based around simulation. A new chain grapple system at the beginning of matches was also introduced. The pacing of the matches was a lot slower, and a new stamina bar was put in place to reflect and portray the quality of matches produced on WWE television. As mentioned, the gameplay was very different, and for many, the game was not fun to play. Several features and match types from previous games were missing, such as the fan-favorite special referee match, elimination tag matches, and so much more were missing from the game. This was the first game to introduce the showcase mode and career mode. The graphics of this game were really amazing, and still to this day it looks really good. I do like that this game featured a physics engine and it made the Extreme Rules matches a lot more fun to play. Overall, I felt this game did not deliver in many areas, and like most people, I was very disappointed by the game when it was initially released. I will put it in the B tier. 2K16 was the next installment. 2K16 was an awesome game. It basically corrected many mistakes found in the previous entry. The roster featured several Attitude Era legends. This game felt like a spiritual successor to WWE 13 because of its Attitude Era showcase. Stone Cold Steve Austin was the cover star, and the showcase mode featured classic matches. WWE 2K16 also featured several upgrades and additions to the gameplay. Rest holds were added, allowing characters to slow down the match to regain stamina. Reversals were also changed to a set amount per match that prevented players from spamming them. There were no longer loading screens between entrances, and this was actually the first game to introduce the option of running in on an entrance and attacking an opponent during the entrance. Overall, this game was a vast improvement over its predecessor, and I will put it in the A tier. 2K17 had a really memorable reveal trailer featuring Goldberg. This was the game that led to Brock Lesnar vs. Goldberg at Survivor Series 2016. I feel this game introduced Goldberg to the modern WWE fans. Brock Lesnar was the cover star of 2K17. The gameplay focused on simulation again, and I really found the gameplay to be fluid. Backstage brawls and the ability to fight in the crowd also made its return. The base game did not feature any showcase mode, but later on, the Hall of Fame showcase was added in as DLC. Overall, this was a solid game, and I will always remember it as being a catalyst for Goldberg's return to the WWE. I will put this installment in the B tier. So WWE 2K18 was the next game to be released. 2K18 had a new graphics engine which made the game look visually impressive. I remember seeing screenshots of Seth Rollins, John Cena and Brock Lesnar and was amazed by the detailed models and graphics. The game also featured the return of Kurt Angle to the series. This game was also the first to introduce the new commentary team of Michael Cole, Byron Saxton and Corey Graves. For the first time since WWF SmackDown Just Bring It, 8 wrestlers were able to be in a match at once instead of 6. A new carry system was also introduced which was similar to the one in SmackDown vs. Raw '07. My career also featured backstage free roaming that was last seen in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011's Road to WrestleMania mode. Overall, this game did feature improvements and I will rank it in the A tier along with 2K16. So now comes WWE 2K19 and this game is regarded by many as the best simulation wrestling game ever made. The gameplay was much faster, more fluid and really fun. Everything was improved and this game also had an awesome creation suite. I know of many people that are still playing this game and regard it as the best wrestling game they have ever played. The game also had some cool stuff added in such as big head mode, zombie variants of certain superstars, and the career mode also featured an interesting story. 2K19 also has a large fan base with so many cool mods still getting released. I see all over YouTube so many mods that completely change the game. So this game indeed has a very large fan following and rightfully so. I will definitely place this game in the S tier. So next off WWE 2K20 and 2K20 was the first game in the series not to be developed by Ukes, which had developed every entry in the series since its inception in 2000. Visual Concepts, who had previously worked with Ukes as co-developers since 2014, took over as lead studio for the series. 2K20 received negative reviews, with critics noting a regression in quality compared to 2K19. So the game has since gained in notoriety in both the wrestling and gaming communities for its many bugs at launch and other technical issues. This was the game that made 2K cancel WWE 2K21 and put the series on hiatus for 2 years. Personally, I did enjoy my time with the game. I think the reason for this is that I first played the game when all the patches were already released. People following my channel will remember that I posted several 2K20 videos before 2K22 got released. I enjoyed the gameplay and the roster was also really solid, with the likes of Keith Lee and Matt Riddle making their WWE Games debut. I know many will not agree with my ranking of this game, but I'm just ranking all of these games based on my personal experience and enjoyment that I had playing them. So I will be ranking this game in the A tier for its fun factor and personal enjoyment. So next comes WWE 2K Battlegrounds. So WWE 2K Battlegrounds was an arcade entry in the franchise. So in 2021 we did not get a mainline entry from 2K. Instead we got this game. So to be honest, I haven't played this game. The cartoonish graphics, action figure looking models and the gameplay did not capture my interest. I was a huge fan of WWE All-Stars, which was also an arcade style game released way back in 2011, but the visual styles between the two games are very different. From reading the opinions of critics online, 2K Battlegrounds received mixed reviews, with most critics praising the cooperative gameplay modes but criticizing the use of microtransactions and lack of gameplay features. So I'll be placing this game in the never played section. So now comes WWE 2K22, which is the latest installment in the franchise. So this game is amazing. The graphics, gameplay, everything about the game is top notch. I've been playing this game almost every day since release and I'm still in awe of the graphics, especially during the entrances of superstars such as John Cena, Goldberg, Ricochet, to name a few. This game is so much fun. You all know that I have done numerous live streams, posted so many videos on 2K22. This game is definitely a step in the right direction for 2K. In this game, my career mode has been rebranded as My Rise and it focuses on custom characters and allowing the player to form alliances, make enemies and branch into subplots based upon the player's choices. I did play through this mode and did several live streams. 2K Showcase mode also makes its return, featuring cover star Rey Mysterio, allowing players to play through his legendary career and experience the biggest moments of his WWE career. The highly anticipated GM mode also made its return, although it is quite limited in several aspects. I still do really like the mode and find it to be fun. I've done many live streams and videos on GM mode as well. I might make a separate video on what improvements I would like to see made to GM mode in 2K23. Overall, this game is amazing and I'll put it in the S tier as I personally think it's one of the best wrestling games of all time. So you would have noticed that I haven't put any game in the C tier. The reason is that I personally feel that none of the WWE 2K games are bad. In fact, they are all pretty good games. The problem is that some of these games are lacking in certain areas which prevent them from being really good games. So guys, what do you think about my ranking of these games? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And like always, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Take care and thanks for watching.